The arena was massive, built from metal that gleamed under artificial lights. Hana stood in the center, her boots clicking against the smooth floor. All around her, thousands of aliens watched from the observation decks. They filled every seat. Their bodies strange and different. Some had scales, others had fur, and many had features she could not even name. She was alone down here. That was the rule. One fighter at a time. No weapons except what nature gave you. No armor except what you wore on your back. Hana wore simple black combat gear. It covered her arms and legs, but nothing more. She had no claws, no fangs, no tail or extra arms, just her human body, small and soft compared to the creatures watching her. The aliens made sounds, clicks and growls, and strange musical notes. She did not need a translator to know what they meant. They were laughing at her. The small human. The weak one. The prey. Above her, in one of the better viewing sections, a group of wolf-like aliens sat together. They were called the Vex. Their fur was gray and silver, their eyes bright yellow. They looked like the wolves from Earth, but bigger, much bigger. They stood on two legs like humans, but their bodies were built for hunting. Their claws clicked against the railings as they watched. The pack leader was named Taemin. His fur was darker than the others, almost black at the tips. Scars crossed his muzzle and arms. He had seen many battles. Next to him sat his daughter, Mira. She was young, barely more than a cub. Her fur was still soft, and her eyes were wide with curiosity. "Father, why is she so small?" Mira asked, her voice a soft growl. "Humans are a weak species," Taemin said. He did not look away from the arena. "They have no natural weapons. Their world is soft and easy." Mira tilted her head. "Then why is she here?" "Oh." Taemin did not answer. He wanted to know the same thing. A loud horn sounded. The fight would begin. From the opposite side of the arena, a door opened. Something huge walked through. It was a Droth, one of the reptilian species from the burning worlds. It stood 3 meters tall, covered in thick scales that looked like stone. Its arms were massive, ending in claws as long as knives. When it opened its mouth, rows of teeth gleamed. The crowd roared with approval. This would be quick. This would be bloody. The Droth charged. Its feet slammed against the floor, making the whole arena shake. It moved fast despite its size, closing the distance in seconds. Hana did not run. She stepped to the side at the last moment, her body moving smoothly. The Droth's claw missed her face by centimeters. She was already turning, already moving to its blind spot. The Droth spun, confused. Where did the human go? Hana was behind it now. She did not try to fight its strength. Instead, she dropped low and swept her leg behind the creature's knee. The Droth stumbled. Not much, but enough. She moved again before it could recover. This time she went for the eyes, her fingers striking like spears. The Droth roared in pain and swung wildly. Its massive arm caught Hana in the side, throwing her across the arena. The crowd cheered. Now, the human would die, but Hana rolled when she hit the ground. She absorbed the impact and came up on her feet. Blood leaked from her mouth, but her eyes were still focused. Still calm, Taemin leaned forward. His claws dug into the railing. "Did you see that?" His mate, Young Mi, said beside him. Her ears were pointed forward, alert. "She moved before it struck," Taemin said slowly. "She knew where it would attack. She is learning its pattern," Young Mi said. There was something like respect in her voice. In the arena, the fight continued. The Droth charged again and again. Each time, Hana dodged. Each time, she struck back at joints, at eyes, at the soft spaces between scales. She did not try to overpower it. She did not need to. She was making it tired. The Droth's movements became slower. Its breathing grew heavy. Confusion turned to frustration, then to something else. Something the Vex recognized. Fear. The human was not running away. She was not trying to survive. She was hunting. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. The crowd grew quieter. The Droth's attacks became desperate, sloppy. Hana's strikes became more precise. She hit the same knee joint over and over until the leg would not support weight anymore. She struck the same spot on its ribs until scales cracked. Finally, the Droth fell. It tried to stand, but could not. Its leg was ruined. Its breathing came in painful gasps. Hana walked up to it slowly. She looked down at the massive creature, her face showing nothing. The referee, a floating orb of energy, declared the match over. Hana was the winner. The arena fell into silence. No one cheered. No one laughed. They had expected entertainment. They had expected to watch a human die. Instead, they had watched something else, something that made them uncomfortable. Hana turned and walked toward the exit. She did not celebrate. She did not bow. She simply left, her footsteps echoing in the quiet. Up in the observation deck, Mira tugged on her father's arm. "Father," she whispered. She did not fight like prey. Taemin's eyes followed the human until she disappeared through the doorway. His claws slowly released their grip on the railing. "No," he said quietly. She did not. Around them, the other Vex Pack members began to murmur. They had all seen the same thing. The way the human moved. The way she thought during battle. The patience in her strikes. Jiho, one of the pack's best warriors, spoke up. "That was a persistence hunt. Like we do on the homeworld." "Impossible," another Vex said. "Humans are not hunters. They are builders. Engineers. Soft things." But Taemin said nothing. He simply watched the empty arena, his mind working. Youngmi touched his shoulder. "I am thinking," Taemin said slowly, "that we may have been wrong about humans." Below, medical staff rushed to help the Drath. It would live, but it would remember this day. It would remember the small human who had taken it apart piece by piece, like a predator teaching prey its place. And in the observation decks, the other species began to whisper. The human had won. Yes, but the way she had won disturbed them. It was too familiar, too practiced, too much like the way apex predators fought on death worlds. Mira pressed her nose against the glass, looking down at the empty arena. "I want to watch her next fight," she said. Taemin nodded. "So do I, little one. So do I." The lights in the arena dimmed. The crowd slowly began to file out, their conversations confused and uncertain. Tomorrow, there would be more fights. More warriors testing themselves. And the human would be there again. Taemin stood, his pack rising with him. As they walked toward the exit, he made a decision. "We will watch all of her fights," he announced. "Every single one." His pack looked at him with surprise. But they did not question. Taemin was their alpha. If he wanted to watch the human, they would watch. As they left, Mira looked back one more time at the arena. Something had changed today. She did not know what, but she could feel it. The way her father stood a little differently. The way the pack moved with new awareness. The human had won a fight, but she had started something bigger. 5 fights had passed since that first day. Hana had won them all. Hana had won them all. The Vex Pack watched every single match. They sat in the same section, always together. Taemin in the center, Youngmi beside him, and little Mira, always pressing against the glass to see better. Today's opponent was a Skrell, an insect-like creature with 6 arms and a body covered in natural armor. It was fast, built for quick strikes. The betting odds favored it heavily. Hana entered the arena the same way she always did. Quiet. Calm. Her black combat gear showed signs of wear now. Bruises covered her arms. A cut above her eye from yesterday's fight had been sealed but still looked fresh. "She is injured," Mira said, concerned. "Should she not rest?" Human tournaments do not allow rest, Jiho explained. He had joined the pack today, curious about this human everyone was discussing. They must fight every day, until eliminated. That is cruel, Mira said. That is their rule, Taman said. But his ears flattened slightly. He did not like it either. The horn sounded. The Skrell moved instantly, its 6 arms striking in a blur. Most creatures would have been overwhelmed by the speed. Hana dropped and rolled. The attacks missed. She came up and backed away, her eyes tracking every movement the Skrell made. She is running, a crystalline warrior said from a nearby section. Its voice was like breaking glass. The human shows her true nature. Prey fleeing predator. Youngmi's lips pulled back, showing teeth. Watch before you speak. Crystal born. The fight continued. Hana kept moving, never staying in one place. She did not try to match the Skrell's speed. She could not. Instead, she made it chase her. Around the arena they went. The Skrell, attacking. Hana avoiding. 10 minutes passed. The Skrell was still fast, still deadly. But something was changing. Look at its breathing, Taman said quietly. The pack looked closer. The Skrell's movements were becoming slightly less precise. Its attacks a fraction slower. It is tiring, Youngmi said with surprise. Already? Humans have greater endurance, Jiho said. I researched them after her first fight. Their bodies are built for long hunts. They sweat to cool down. They can run for hours. Hours? Mira asked. But they are so slow. Speed means nothing, Taman said, if the prey never stops. As if to prove his point, Hana suddenly changed tactics. She stopped retreating. The Skrell, expecting her to run again, was caught off guard when she stepped forward into its attack range. She took a hit. One of the Skrell's arms struck her shoulder hard, but she was already moving past it, inside its guard. Her elbow smashed into a joint between armor plates. The Skrell made a clicking sound of pain. Hana pressed the attack now. Every hit targeted the same spots, the same joints, the same weak points. She was not trying to damage everything. She was breaking specific pieces. The Skrell tried to create distance, but Hana followed. For the first time, it was the alien backing away. She has learned its pattern, Youngmi said. Now, she hunts. 5 more minutes. The Skrell's left arms stopped working properly. The joints were too damaged. It tried to compensate with its right arms, but that made it unbalanced. Hana swept its legs. The Skrell went down hard. Before it could rise, she was on top of it. Her arm wrapped around its neck in a chokehold. The Skrell struggled for a moment, then tapped the ground. Submission. The referee declared Hana the winner. The crowd's reaction was mixed now. Some cheered. Others remained silent. The crystalline warrior from before said nothing at all. As Hana walked toward the exit, she looked up at the observation decks. Her eyes found the Vex pack. For a moment, she and Timon locked gazes. She nodded once. A small gesture. Recognition, perhaps. Taman's ears stood straight up. She had seen them watching. She knew they were studying her. She acknowledges us, Youngmi said quietly. She respects us, Jiho corrected. There is a difference. After the fight, the Vex pack gathered in their quarters on the station. Taman pulled up information on his datapad. Images of Earth filled the screen. I have been researching her homeworld, he said. Look at this. The pack gathered around. What they saw confused them. Earth looked beautiful. Blue oceans, green lands, white clouds. It did not look like a death world at all. Not like their own planet, with its red sky and deadly storms. This cannot be right, Jiho said. Death worlds are harsh, cruel. That planet looks soft. Look deeper, Taman said. He changed the image. Now they saw Earth's predators. Lions, tigers, bears, crocodiles, sharks, Wolves. They have many apex predators, Youngmi noted. Had, Taman corrected. Past tense. Humans hunted them almost to extinction. Not for food always. Sometimes just to prove they could. The pack fell silent. On their world, the Vex were the apex predators. Nothing hunted them. The idea of a world with multiple apex predators, all competing, was strange. How did humans survive? Mira asked. They have no claws. Or teeth. Taman brought up another file. They made weapons. Tools. But before that, they had something else. They could run longer than any other creature on their world. They would chase prey for hours, days sometimes. Until the prey collapsed from exhaustion. Persistence hunting, Jiho said softly. Like we saw in the arena. Exactly like we saw, Taman agreed. He pulled up more information. Human history. Wars. Conquests. Survival stories. They climbed to the top of their world through endurance and intelligence, he said. They domesticated wolves. They killed creatures 10 times their size. They spread across their entire planet, adapting to every environment. They are not prey, Youngmi said. It was not a question. No, Taman said. They are not. Mira looked at the images of Earth's animals. Father, what happened to the other predators? The lions and bears? Humans won, Taman said simply. They conquered their entire world. Every ecosystem. Every environment. And now, they travel the stars. The pack sat in silence, processing this information. The galaxy thinks they are weak, Jiho finally said. The galaxy is wrong, Taman replied. Over the next few days, Hana continued to fight. Each opponent was stronger than the last. Each fight was harder. She faced a toxic creature that burned with acid. She won by using the arena's features to neutralize its advantage. She fought an armored warrior twice her size. She won by targeting the same knee joint for 30 minutes until it shattered. She battled a flying opponent. She won by predicting its patterns and striking when it dove. Every fight, the Vex pack watched. Every fight, they saw the same thing. Adaptation. Endurance. Pattern recognition. Intelligence. Hana was not winning through strength. She was winning through strategy and the simple fact that she refused to quit. She fights injured every day now, Mira said after the 8th fight. Why does she not stop? Because stopping means losing, Youngmi explained. And humans do not accept losing. That is foolish, Mira said. She could be hurt permanently. That is human, Taman corrected. After the 10th fight, something changed. Hana won against a champion fighter, someone who had been undefeated for 3 seasons. The victory was brutal and close, but she won. The crowd did not laugh anymore. They did not mock. Some even cheered for the human. But the Vex pack noticed something else. The next round, Jiho said, looking at the tournament board. The pack turned to look at him. Jiho was one of their best. Fast, strong, experienced. If anyone could defeat the human, it was him. You will end this, another pack member said. Show her what a real predator can do. But Taman said nothing. He simply looked at Jiho with calm yellow eyes. Fight with honor, was all he said. Jiho nodded slowly. Always, my alpha. That night, Hana sat alone in her quarters. She reviewed footage of her next opponent, the Vex warrior Jiho. She watched how he moved, how he fought, how he thought. She knew this would be different. The Vex were not like the others. They were true hunters. True predators. She smiled slightly. Her body ached everywhere. Her hands were wrapped in bandages. Tomorrow she would face the hardest fight yet, but she was not afraid. She was ready. In their quarters, the Vex pack prepared for sleep. But Mira could not rest. She kept thinking about the human. About tomorrow's fight. Father, she whispered in the dark. Who will win? Taman's eyes glowed softly in the darkness. I do not know, little one, but Jiho is stronger. Faster. He has claws and teeth. Yes, Taemin agreed. But the human has something else. What? Mira asked. Taemin was quiet for a long moment. She has the will of a survivor, and that is sometimes more dangerous than any claw. Mira thought about this. Do you want her to win? Taemin did not answer immediately. It was a complicated question. Jiho was Pack, but the human had earned his respect. I want, he finally said, to see which predator is stronger. The arena was more crowded than usual. Word had spread about today's match. A human versus a Vex. Prey versus predator. Many species came just to see the human finally lose. Hana entered first. Her movements were stiff. 12 fights in 12 days had taken their toll. New bruises covered old ones. Her right hand was heavily wrapped, but her eyes were still clear, still focused. Jiho entered from the opposite side. He was magnificent. Silver-gray fur rippled over powerful muscles. His claws gleamed under the lights. When he moved, it was with the smooth grace of a born hunter. The crowd made sounds of approval. In the observation deck, the Vex pack sat together, but today felt different. Tense. Jiho will be gentle, Youngmi said, though her voice was uncertain. He will make it quick. Taemin said nothing. His eyes tracked both fighters. Down in the arena, Hana and Jiho faced each other. For a long moment, neither moved. They simply looked at each other, measuring, assessing. Then Jiho did something unexpected. He bowed his head slightly. A gesture of respect. Hana returned the bow. The crowd grew quiet. This was not normal. Fighters usually tried to intimidate each other. This looked like two warriors acknowledging each other. The horn sounded. Jiho moved first, but not with the savage attack everyone expected. He circled left, testing. Hana mirrored him, keeping distance between them. They circled each other for almost a full minute, neither attacking, both learning. What is Jiho doing? A young Vex Pack member asked. Why does he not strike? He is showing respect, Taemin said quietly. He is giving her the same consideration he would give a packmate. Jiho finally attacked. His claws swept toward Hana's chest. She moved backward, the claws missing by centimeters. She counterattacked immediately. A strike toward his ribs. Jiho blocked with his forearm. They separated. Circled. Again. The fight was beautiful in its way. Technical. Precise. Each move was calculated. Each attack was met with a counter. When Jiho struck high, Hana went low. When she attacked his left, he defended and attacked her right. Minutes passed. Neither gained a clear advantage. They are equal. Mira whispered in awe. No, Taemin said. Watch closer. The pack watched. Slowly, they began to see what Taemin saw. Jiho was faster and stronger, yes. But Hana was learning his patterns. Every time he attacked the same way, she defended better. Every feint he used, she recognized quicker the second time. She was adapting. 15 minutes into the fight, Jiho scored the first real hit. His claws raked across Hana's shoulder, drawing blood. She grunted, but did not retreat. Instead, she stepped forward into his guard and slammed her elbow into his jaw. Jiho's head snapped back. It was the first solid hit he had taken in months. They separated, both breathing hard. Jiho touched his jaw, then looked at his fingers. There was blood. His own blood. Something changed in his eyes. Not anger. Recognition. She hurt him, a Vex Pack member said with disbelief. She made him bleed. Youngmi corrected. There was a difference. In Vex culture, making a warrior bleed meant you were worthy. The fight continued with new intensity. Jiho stopped testing. He attacked for real now. His claws became blurs. His teeth snapped at her throat. Hana defended desperately. She took more hits. A claw across her arm. Teeth grazing her shoulder. A kick to her ribs that made her stumble. But she did not fall. And every time Jiho pressed his advantage, she found a way to strike back. A punch to his kidney. A kick to his knee. Fingers jabbing at his eyes. She was not trying to win anymore. She was trying to survive. But survival was what humans did best. 20 minutes. 25. 30. Jiho's attacks were slowing. Not much, but enough. His breathing was heavy. Hana's was worse, ragged and painful. But she was still moving. How is she still standing? Someone in the crowd asked. Taemin leaned forward, his claws digging into the railing again. Because that is what humans do. They endure. At 35 minutes, Jiho made a mistake. His left leg, the one Hana had been kicking repeatedly, gave out slightly. Just for a moment. Just enough. Hana saw it. She drove forward, all her remaining strength in one desperate attack. She swept the damaged leg, and as Jiho fell, she followed him down. They crashed to the arena floor together. What followed was brutal. Close combat. No room for technique. Just two warriors fighting with everything they had left. Hana's human hands against Jiho's claws, her teeth against his, her will against his. They rolled across the floor. First Jiho on top, then Hana, then Jiho again. Blood from both of them, mixed on the arena floor. 40 minutes. Finally, Hana got her arm around Jiho's neck from behind. The same chokehold she had used before. But Jiho was stronger than her previous opponents. He struggled. His claws tore at her arm, drawing more blood. But Hana did not let go. She held on with everything she had. Her arm was slick with blood, her own and his. Her vision was starting to darken at the edges, but she held on. Let go, human, Jiho gasped. You cannot. Hold. Watch me, Hana whispered back. Seconds passed like hours. Jiho's struggles became weaker. Not because Hana was stronger, but because she refused to release him no matter what. Finally, Jiho's hand slapped the ground 3 times. The signal for submission. Hana released him immediately. They both collapsed, lying on the arena floor, gasping for air. The referee declared Hana the winner. The crowd was silent. Completely silent. No one had expected this. Up in the observation deck, the Vex pack sat frozen. One of their best had lost. To a human. Then Mira's voice cut through the silence. Clear and carrying in the quiet arena. Father. Why is the Alpha wearing human skin? Every head in the observation deck turned to look at the small cub. Her question echoed across the space. Taemin looked down at the arena. Hana had dragged herself to her feet. She was extending a hand to Jiho, helping him up. Jiho took her hand. When he stood, he did not pull away immediately. Instead, he placed his other hand on her shoulder, a gesture of respect. Of acknowledgement. He had lost, but he had lost to a warrior, to an equal. What did you say, little one? An elderly Vex from another pack asked Mira. The human, Mira said, pointing down at Hana. She moves like father when he hunts. She thinks like pack. She does not stop fighting. She is Alpha, but she wears human skin. Taemin did not correct his daughter. How could he? She had spoken truth. Down in the arena, medical staff rushed to both fighters. Hana needed stitches and bandages. Jiho needed the same. As they were treated, they talked quietly. The crowd could not hear the words, but they could see the respect between them. 2 predators acknowledging each other. Later, in the medical bay, Jiho sat while his wounds were cleaned. I am sorry, my Alpha, Jiho said to Taemin. I failed. You did not fail, Taemin said firmly. You fought with honor. You gave respect to a worthy opponent. She should not have won, Jiho said, frustration in his voice. I was stronger, faster, better armed, but she was more determined, Youngmi said gently. Jiho nodded slowly. Yes, she was. He looked at his Alpha. What is she? Taemin? Truly? Taemin was quiet for a moment. I have researched her world, studied her species. Humans are persistence hunters. They do not kill with strength or speed. They kill by never stopping, by chasing prey until it collapses from exhaustion. They hunt like we do, Jiho said. They hunt like we wish we could, Taemin corrected. We are faster and stronger, but we tire. Humans do not. Their bodies are built for endurance. Their minds are built to adapt. They are not the strongest predator, but they are the most persistent. And persistence, Youngmi added, is the deadliest weapon. Across the medical bay, Hana sat while a medic stitched a cut on her arm. She was alone. Humans were rare in the galaxy, and she had no pack here, or so she thought. The door opened. Taemin walked in, followed by young Mira. Hana tensed, unsure what to expect. She had just defeated one of his pack. Some species would see that as an insult, demanding revenge. But Taemin simply walked up to her and sat nearby. Mira peeked around his leg, her large yellow eyes studying Hana with intense curiosity. You fought well, Taemin said. His voice was a deep growl, but not threatening. So did Jiho, Hana replied. He is a great warrior. He is, Taemin agreed. And now you have his respect. And mine. Hana did not know how to respond to that. In her 12 fights, no one had spoken to her like this. With respect. Mira stepped forward, shy but curious. Does it hurt? She asked, pointing at Hana's wounds. Yes, Hana said honestly. But I will heal. You should rest, Mira said with concern. You fight again tomorrow. I know. That is not enough time to heal properly. I know that too. Mira tilted her head, confused. Hana smiled, though it hurt her split lip. Because I am human. And humans do not quit. Taemin made a sound that might have been approval. He stood to leave, then paused. From his belt, he took a small, carved token. It was made from bone, shaped like a claw. This is a pack token, he said, holding it out to Hana. Hana took it carefully. I do not understand. I defeated your pack member. You defeated him with honor, Taemin explained. You helped him stand after. That is what pack does. Mira suddenly ran forward and hugged Hana's leg. You are very brave, the cub said. Even if you are small. Hana looked down at the young Vex, surprised. Then she reached down and gently patted Mira's head. Thank you, little one. As Taemin and Mira left, Hana sat alone again, but she did not feel alone anymore. She looked at the carved token in her hand. It was simple, but beautiful. A gift from warriors to a warrior. Outside the medical bay, news was spreading across the station. The human had defeated a Vex. And not just any Vex, but one of their finest. The question Mira had asked was spreading too, repeated in different languages across different species. Why is the Alpha wearing human skin? Some dismissed it as a cub's foolish question. But others, the warriors and hunters among them, began to wonder, what if it was not a foolish question? What if it was the truest question anyone had asked? 3 more fights passed. Hana won them all. The galaxy was watching now, not just the warriors at the station. News feeds across multiple systems showed her fights. The small human who refused to lose. In the Vex Pack quarters, Taemin gathered his warriors. On the screen was information about Hana's next opponent. The final opponent. Deho of the Karn, Taemin said. The name alone made several pack members growl with concern. The Karn were conquerors. A warrior species that had taken dozens of worlds through pure force. They were massive, powerful, and proud. Deho was their champion. 4 arms, each as thick as a tree trunk, skin like stone. Undefeated in 300 matches. She cannot win this, Jiho said quietly. His wounds from fighting Hana had healed. But he remembered every moment. I barely hurt her, and I was holding back at first. Deho will not hold back at all. He will kill her in minutes. The human knows this, Youngmi said. Can she withdraw? Mira asked. She sat close to her father, worried for the human she had come to admire. The rules allow it, Taemin said. But she has not. Because humans do not quit, Mira said, repeating what Hana had told her. Even when they should, Jiho added darkly. On the screen, footage played of Daeho's last fight. He had torn his opponent apart in 4 minutes. The violence was extreme, brutal. Daeho did not just win, he dominated. This is not just about fighting anymore, Taemin said. There is politics involved now. He pulled up another screen. Messages from various galactic councils. The Karn had submitted a formal challenge. If Hana won, Earth would be reclassified as a warrior world. Humans would gain new status, new rights, new opportunities. If she lost, Earth would be marked as pretenders. Humans who thought they were warriors but were really just lucky prey. The pressure on her must be enormous, Youngmi said. She carries her entire species on her back, Taemin agreed. One fight to prove humanity's worth. The pack sat in silence, processing this. Finally, Jiho spoke. We should help her. Several pack members looked at him in surprise. She is not pack, one said. Why would we help her? She defeated me with honor, Jiho said. She carries herself like a warrior. Like one of us. He looked at Taemin. My Alpha. You have researched her species. You know what they are. We cannot let Daeho simply destroy her. What can we do? Another pack member asked. The rules forbid outside assistance. Taemin was quiet, his mind working. Then he made a decision. We can offer her something else. Recognition? Support. He stood. Come. We visit the human. The pack followed their Alpha through the station. They drew stairs. A full Vex pack moving together was unusual. They only did so for important matters. They found Hana in a training room. She was alone, practicing movements slowly. Her body was covered in new and old injuries. She should have been resting. Instead, she was preparing. Human, Taemin called out. Hana stopped and turned. She seemed surprised to see all of them. Taemin, you brought your pack. We have come to offer you something, Taemin said. He stepped forward. A tradition of my people. Before a great battle, pack members mark each other. It is a reminder. You do not fight alone. He extended his hand. In it was a small vial of silver paint. If you accept, we will mark you as we mark our own warriors. Hana looked at the vial, then at the gathered Vex. I am not Vex. I am not pack. You fight like us. You honor combat like us. You refuse to surrender like us. Taemin's yellow eyes met hers. Perhaps you are not Vex, but you are pack in spirit. Do the. Hana was quiet for a long moment. Then, she nodded. Youngmi stepped forward and carefully painted 3 lines across Hana's forehead. It was the Vex mark for a warrior who hunts alone but belongs to pack. Mira suddenly darted forward. From around her neck, she took a small, carved fang on a cord. This is mine, the cub said, but I want you to have it. For luck. Hana knelt down to Mira's level. She accepted the gift carefully. I cannot take your treasure, little one. You can. Mira insisted. Because you are brave. And because you need to come back after the fight. I want to hear stories about Earth. Hana felt something warm in her chest. These aliens, these predators, cared what happened to her. I promise, I will try my hardest. That is all any warrior can do, Taemin said. He placed a hand on Hana's shoulder. You fight tomorrow. Tonight, you are not alone. Tonight, you are pack. The Vex spent the evening with Hana. They shared food from their home world. They told stories of great hunts and battles. They treated her, not as an outsider, but as one of their own. As the night grew late, Hana sat with Taemin while the others rested. Why are you doing this? She asked. Your pack member, Jiho, would have advanced if I had not beaten him. Jiho fights with honor, Taemin said. But you fight with something more. You fight with the spirit of your entire species. I have learned much about humans in these past weeks. About Earth. About your history. He looked at her seriously. Your people climbed from prey to predator through nothing but determination. You had no natural weapons, no armor, no venom. Yet, you conquered your entire world. You domesticated other predators. You survived ice ages and plagues and disasters. You are the most successful persistence predators in galactic history. We are also good at killing each other, Hana said with some bitterness. Earth's history is full of wars. Because you are predators, Taemin said simply. Predators compete. Predators fight. But predators also recognize strength. Respect it. That is why we are here. We recognize what you are. And what am I? Hana asked. Alpha, Taemin said. Perhaps wearing human skin, as my daughter said. But Alpha, nonetheless. The next morning, the arena was packed to capacity. Every seat filled. Every observation deck crowded. Species from across the galaxy had come to watch. The human versus the Karn champion. Prey versus predator. Or perhaps predator versus predator. Hana entered the arena. She wore the silver marks on her forehead. Around her neck hung Mira's carved fang. She looked small and battered, ready to break, but her eyes showed no fear. Daeho entered from the opposite side. He was massive, 3 meters tall, 4 arms, each ending in fists like hammers. His skin was gray and rocky. Scars covered his body like medals. His eyes held no respect, only contempt. He looked at Hana and laughed. The sound echoed across the arena. This is their champion? He called out, in a voice like grinding stones. This small, soft thing? The Karn supporters in the crowd cheered. Many other species joined them. This would be entertainment. The human would be crushed. But in the Vex section, the entire pack rose to their feet. It was a howl of recognition, of support, of pack, standing together. Other species looked at them in shock. The Vex never did this for outsiders. Never. Daeho's expression changed slightly. He looked at the Vex pack, then at Hana. They honor you? He said with surprise. You are just human. Hana touched the carved fang at her throat. She looked up at the Vex pack and nodded in thanks. Then, she turned to face Daeho. I am human, she said clearly. And humans do not quit. Daeho's face twisted in anger. You will quit. You will beg. You will break. Maybe, Hana said calmly. But, not without a fight. The horn sounded. Daeho charged like a falling mountain. The arena floor shook under his weight. His 4 arms spread wide, ready to grab, to crush, to tear. Hana did not run. She did not retreat. She stepped to the side at the last possible moment. Daeho's momentum carried him past her. She struck at his knee as he passed, then moved away before he could counter. Stand still, human, Daeho roared. No, Hana said simply, and so it began. The fight that would change everything. In the observation deck, Mira pressed against the glass, her small hands gripping tight. She looked so small next to him, she whispered. Yes, Taemin said. His voice was calm, but his claws dug into the railing. But size is not everything. Will she win, father? Taemin watched as Hana dodged another massive strike. She was so much smaller, so much weaker. By every measure, she should lose. But she was human. And humans specialized in doing what should be impossible. Watch, little one, Taemin said. Watch and learn what it means to be Alpha. Below, Hana circled the massive Karn warrior. Her body was small. Her weapons were limited. But her spirit was unbreakable. And sometimes, that was all that mattered. The real battle had begun. 10 minutes into the fight, Hana was bleeding from a dozen wounds. Daeho's massive fists had caught her twice, once in the ribs, once across her back. Each hit felt like being struck by a vehicle, but she was still moving, still fighting. Daeho was breathing harder than he expected. Not from exhaustion yet. From frustration. The human would not stay still. Every time he thought he had her cornered, she slipped away, like water through his fingers. "Stop running," he roared. "I am not running," Hana said between gasps. "I am hunting." She darted in and struck at his knee again. The same knee she had been hitting since the fight started. Then, she was gone, before he could grab her. In the observation deck, the crowd was riveted. This was not the quick execution they expected. This was something else. "How long has it been?" a crystalline observer asked. 15 minutes, someone replied. "Impossible. Daeho never fights longer than 10 minutes. He always wins by then." "Then watch something new," a Vex warrior said with satisfaction. 20 minutes. Hana's movements were slowing. Her body was reaching its limits. Blood dripped from cuts on her arms and face. Her breathing was ragged and painful. Broken ribs, probably. But Daeho's movements were changing too. His attacks, once precise and powerful, were becoming wilder, angrier. The human was getting into his head. "Why will you not fall?" Daeho demanded. He swung all 4 arms at once. Hana rolled under them, came up behind him, and kicked the back of his damaged knee. Daeho stumbled. Just slightly. But it was the first time he had shown weakness. The crowd gasped. "The mighty Daeho, stumbling? She is breaking him down," Jiho said with awe. "Look at his leg. She has hit it 50 times now. The joint is failing." "Persistence hunting," Taemin said. His ears were forward, alert. "She is not trying to knock him down with one strike. She is accumulating damage. Death by 1,000 cuts. 30 minutes. Hana could barely see through the blood running into her eyes. Her left arm hung weakly at her side. Damaged shoulder. Maybe dislocated. But she kept moving. Kept circling. Kept striking. Daeho was slower now. His damaged knee was affecting his balance. His attacks were easier to predict. Frustration had replaced confidence in his eyes. "What are you?" he gasped. "Human," Hana replied. She struck his knee again. "We are what your kind forgot to fear." 40 minutes. This was the longest fight in tournament history. Both warriors were exhausted. Both were injured. But neither would quit. The crowd was silent now. No cheering. No mockery. Everyone watching understood they were seeing something rare. 2 warriors pushing past their limits. Past pain. Past reason. Fighting on pure will. "She cannot win," a Karn supporter said desperately. "Daeho is stronger. One clean hit, and she is finished." "But he cannot land that hit," Youngmi replied. "And with every minute that passes, he becomes slower. She has already won. He just does not know it yet." At 45 minutes, it happened. Daeho lunged forward with all 4 arms, trying to end it with one desperate attack. Hana did not dodge this time. She was too tired, too slow. The attack was coming too fast. Instead, she stepped forward, into the attack. 2 of Daeho's arms closed around her. She screamed as they squeezed, ribs cracking, vision going dark. But her good arm was free, and she had been waiting for this, for Daeho to commit everything to one attack. She drove her fingers into his eye. Not a punch. A targeted strike. Using the last of her strength, Daeho roared in pain and released her. Hana fell to the ground, but immediately rolled away. Daeho clutched his injured eye, his other 3 arms swinging blindly. Hana forced herself to stand. Everything hurt. Everything was broken. But she stood. "Come on," she whispered. "I am still here." Daeho turned to face her with his one good eye. He was breathing hard. His leg was barely supporting weight. His eye was bleeding. For the first time in 300 fights, Deho felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. "What are you?" he asked again, quietly this time. Hana wiped blood from her mouth. "I am what happens when prey refuses to die. I am what happens when the weak get smart. I am human, and we spent 1,000,000 years hunting creatures bigger and stronger than us." She took a step forward. "We always won." Deho looked at her. Really looked. Saw the determination in her eyes. The absolute refusal to surrender, even when her body was breaking. He had fought hundreds of warriors, defeated species from across the galaxy, but he had never faced anything like this human. This small, weak creature, who fought like she had already decided she would win. "You cannot defeat me," he said. But his voice was uncertain now. "Watch me," Hana said. She attacked. Not with strength. She had none left. Not with speed. She was too injured. She attacked with timing and targeting. She went for his damaged knee, again and again, using what little energy she had left to hit the same spot. Deho tried to defend, but his movements were too slow. Finally, it gave. A loud crack echoed through the arena. Deho's leg buckled completely. He fell to one knee, then to all fours. 3 of his arms kept him upright. The 4th clutched his ruined leg. Hana circled behind him. Every step was agony. Her vision blurred. Her body screamed for her to stop. She did not stop. She climbed onto Deho's back, her arm wrapped around his throat. The same chokehold that had won her other fights. Deho tried to throw her off. Tried to reach her with his arms. But the angle was wrong. His damaged knee could not support the movement. "Submit," Hana whispered in his ear. "Or pass out. Your choice." Deho struggled for seconds that felt like hours. His pride fought against his survival instinct. Finally, his hand slapped the ground. Once. Twice. 3 times. Submission. Hana released him and fell off his back. She lay on the arena floor, unable to move. Deho collapsed beside her, also unable to continue. The referee's voice rang out. "Winner, Hana of Earth." For a moment, nothing happened. The crowd was in shock. The mighty Deho, undefeated in 300 matches, beaten by a human. Then the Vex Pack erupted in howls. Long, triumphant sounds that echoed through the entire arena. Other species began to react. Some cheered. Some sat in stunned silence. The Karn supporters looked like they could not believe what they had seen. Medical teams rushed into the arena. Both fighters needed immediate attention. As they worked on Hana, she looked up at the observation decks. Found the Vex Pack. Mira was jumping up and down, her small form bouncing with excitement. Taman stood tall, his hand over his heart in a Vex salute of respect. Hana tried to smile, but everything hurt too much. She let the medical team take her. Hours later, in the medical bay, Hana woke to find her room filled with visitors. The entire Vex Pack was there. Mira sat on a chair next to her bed, her yellow eyes bright. "You won," the cub said excitedly. "You beat the big scary warrior." "Barely," Hana said with a weak laugh that hurt her ribs. "Barely is enough," Taman said. He stepped forward. "You have done what many thought impossible. You have proven humans are warriors." "One human," Hana corrected. "I am just one person. You are one example," Youngmi said. "But you represent what your species can become. What they already are. If they remember." Jiho stepped forward. "The Galactic Council has sent a message. Earth is being reclassified. Warrior world status. Full rights and protections." Hana closed her eyes. It was done. The pressure, the weight. She had carried it, and she had succeeded. "What does this mean for Earth?" she asked. "It means humans will be taken seriously," Taman explained. "It means other species will think twice before threatening you. It means your people have a future among the stars. It also means, Jiho added with a hint of concern, that some species will see you as a threat. Being respected as warriors is good, but it also brings challenges. We will face those challenges, Hana said. She thought of Earth, of humanity, of all the people back home who did not know what they were capable of. We always do. Mira climbed up onto the bed carefully, avoiding Hana's injured areas. Can I visit Earth someday? She asked. I want to see where alphas with human skin come from. Hana reached out and gently touched the cub's head. You are always welcome, little one. Taemin pulled out a datapad. I have been preparing something. A message to send to the Vex home world, and to share with other packs across the galaxy. He turned it so Hana could see. On the screen was a simple statement. Humanity is pack. To hunt them is to hunt us. You do not have to do this, Hana said. This could cause problems for your people. It is not a request, Taemin said firmly. It is a statement of fact. You fought with honor. You earned respect. You are pack now, whether you claim it or not. He looked at his warriors. My pack agrees. Do others? Every Vex in the room made a sound of agreement. A low growl. That meant acceptance. Then it is decided, Taemin said. He sent the message. Within hours, it would spread across the galaxy. The Vex, one of the most respected warrior species, had claimed humans as pack. Days later, Hana prepared to leave the station. Her body was still healing, but she could move again. She stood in the departure area, her few belongings packed. The Vex pack came to see her off. Even other species came, some to offer respect, others just to see the human who had changed everything. Mira hugged Hana's leg one last time. Promise you will come back? I promise, Hana said. And next time, I will bring stories about Earth, about humans, about what we were and what we can be. Tell them they are alphas, Mira said seriously. Tell them what they forgot. I will, Hana promised. Taemin approached last. You have changed things, human. The galaxy will never see your species the same way. Is that good or bad? Hana asked. That depends on what humans do with this new respect, Taemin said. Use it wisely. Remember what you learned here. He placed his hand on her shoulder one last time. Pack is forever, even across star systems. If humans need help, the Vex will answer. And if the Vex need help, Hana replied, humans will answer. They clasped forearms in the warrior's grip, a promise between predators. As Hana's ship left the station, she looked back at the massive structure growing smaller in the distance. She had come here as one person, a soldier, a fighter, someone trying to survive. She was leaving as something more, a symbol, proof that humans belonged among the stars, that they were not prey pretending to be predators. They were predators who had forgotten what they were, and now they would remember. On the station, Mira stood at an observation window, watching Hana's ship disappear into the stars. Will we see her again, father? She asked. Taemin stood beside his daughter, his hand on her shoulder. Yes, little one. Humans are persistence hunters. Once they decide something, they do not stop. He looked at the stars. She will return. And when she does, she will bring more like her. More humans, who remember what they are. Alphas in human skin, Mira said softly. Yes, Taemin agreed. And the galaxy will have to make room for them, far away. On Earth, news was spreading. A human had won the greatest warrior tournament in the galaxy, had defeated champions from species far stronger, had proven that humans belonged among the warriors. People watched the recordings, saw Hana fight, saw her refuse to quit even when everything said she should, and something old stirred in human hearts. Something from their ancient past. When they were hunters on the African plains, when they chased prey across continents, when they survived against impossible odds, They remembered what they were, what they had always been: apex predators, persistence hunters, survivors. The galaxy had asked why the Alpha was wearing human skin. Now they knew the answer. Because humanity had always been Alpha. They had just forgotten. And now they remembered. The end.